All right, first of all, ignore the music. It's just I have like a Windows wallpaper thing. It's wallpaper engine. The wallpaper I have like cycles through a bunch of songs randomly, so don't put any thought into that if it's like sad music or whatever. It's coincidental. I'm making this video just because like I've been doing a lot of therapy the last like few months or whatever, and one piece of advice I got from my therapist was just to like make a video one time about like how I'm feeling when I'm feeling like really stuck, and so that's what I'm doing. I'm not gonna really edit this that much. Pretty much just gonna be my raw thoughts. That's why the title is something real. So first of all, I hate what YouTube has done to my mentality as a human being and the way I look at myself and perceive myself to have value. Before I started doing YouTube seriously, man, I did not care about the way people saw me, really. I didn't care about like my work as much. I didn't care like if things went well or whatever. Like my whole day wasn't ruined by some numbers, man. And holy hell, like I hate that about myself or about the job. I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, man. I hate that aspect of it because I will sit there and work on something for days, weeks, whatever the hell, and it'll not do well, and that'll just destroy me for like 3 weeks or whatever. Like, I mean, I can actually show you. This is like the one bit of editing I'll add into this video. Okay, so this is the last video that I made. And as you can see, it did not do very well. YouTube rates your videos on a scale of like 1 out of 10, depending on like how many views they get. And this is a 10 out of 10, like very poorly performing video. I worked on this video for a total of 3 or 4 days. One day I streamed it, and that's like what I did that day. And then it took me a couple days to edit and stuff like that. So, and by a couple days, I mean like I wake up, I do whatever with my day, eat, hang out with my girlfriend, whatever. And then I sit there and I edit for hours and hours on it. And I did that once, and then I went to sleep, and then I woke up and I did it again. And it takes like hours, you know? It's a slow process. If you've ever edited anything before, you know it's not fast. Like, that's just not how it works. Whatever. Anyway, I spend a whole bunch of my time on this shit, dude. And it makes $60. It gets a third of the views or half the views that any Mario Maker thing receives. And I'm supposed to just like go on my way and accept that, dude. Makes me feel like shit. Makes me feel like I'm not worth anything, and it's just miserable. And so it like messes up my headset, my mind space, not my headset, my headspace, whatever. It messes up my mental game, and then I don't work on anything for a while because I want to distance myself from that feeling and like get away from it. And then that's how we end up in situations like this where, you know, since then I've streamed a couple times on my other channel or whatever, but I haven't really made a video on here in like 3 weeks. And then it just, you know, I've tried, but I sit down, like I set stuff up at my desk, and then I just feel like ass. Like and then it just compounds on itself, and it goes longer and longer and longer, you know, like it is awful. Like I don't like it. It's a terrible feeling, and I wish I could divorce myself from how something does versus like my self-perception, but like I can't do it. And then on top of that, like, not to single this person out or anything, but yeah, this comment really hurt me, man. I wish I could like open it up in its own thing. Oops. Okay, on top of everything, like this made me feel really bad about myself, and I'll zoom in and like cover the person's name because I'm not trying to like single them out or anything. But so this comment says that, I say this with the most respect, you should play other games again. I watched a lot of your Mario Maker content at the time, but years later, that is the only content you're making. You're doing Mario Party now, but it's not different enough. Maybe I'm in the wrong because content creators should do what they like, sure, but they also have to create, I assume create new content is what they meant. And playing the same game for what, 4 or 5 years, and only that, ... So this hurt me for a few reasons, man. Like, first of all, it's like one of the main things that I think about myself is that my stuff is really stale now on here. And so to have someone like say exactly what I don't want them to think or what I think negatively about myself, like, it really doesn't feel good, because like that just kind of self-affirms to me that I'm right about myself, like, and the value or lack thereof that comes with it in terms of my work. And then it also hurts because like I don't feel like it's true on some parts, because obviously I want to get defensive about it. Like, dude, if you look at my channel, I've tried so much stuff over the years. So much stuff. And there was like a very clear point where the YouTube algorithm clearly kicked me out and put my ass to the curb, because I used to do all kinds of stuff. Like, yeah, they're right about that. And it used to do all right. It wasn't just Mario Maker that did well. But at some point, like, that stopped being the case. And even now, that comment was on a Mario Party video, man. Like, that was on a brand new game. That's like my second video on a brand new game. And it's not different enough. On top of that, it was an edited version of a live stream that I did, which, like, is very different from what I usually do. So, I don't know, man. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And they even acknowledge it in the comment, like, oh, yeah, this is new, but it's not different enough. What the hell am I supposed to do? It's still, like, I'm me. It's me. It's called YouTube. It's about me. I can only be myself. Like, I don't have a whole team behind me. Man, I only have, like, one content creator friend who's, like, always there for me and stuff. And, like, shout outs to you know, to them, but, like, they have their own stuff going on. And so it's like, I don't know, I'm alone in the work. I have been booted from the algorithm. Like, things don't do well no matter what. And then, like, I have comments, like, saying exactly what I don't want to hear, man. And it sucks. Like, I feel like I try and I try and I try, and I'm just not getting anywhere. Like, it sucks. It hurts so bad. And then I get stuck in, like, this pile of self-loathing or whatever. I mean, that's how I ended up, like, not uploading for, like, 6 months. And, I mean, here we are almost going a whole month without uploading, and it's just, like, I don't want to feel that feeling, and I don't want to get to, like, I don't want to get to that point again. So, I mean, I don't really know. I don't know what you guys think I should do. I don't know what I should do. I can't sit here and spend days on, like, I can't sit here and spend days on projects that make me $60. So, like, I can't function that way, man. So, I mean, maybe I just sit here and I crank out Mario Maker thing after Mario Maker thing, but obviously, like, that's not going to work forever. I really don't know. I really do not know. I mean, I still like what I do to some level. That's why I've been streaming more lately. Obviously, lately I've been struggling, like, these past couple weeks, but past couple of months I've been doing pretty good at streaming. And it's fun when I do it. I just don't really know what to do from there. Like, I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like it's just kind of like a rich get richer scenario where content creators that are established and are in there just benefit from the system so much, and, like, everyone else, new content creators who get pushed out of the algorithm, whatever it is, like, just struggle to, like, keep their head above water. And, you know, people will be like, oh, well, you gotta have another job or whatever. But that's, like, such a weird thing to me, that I can have tens of thousands of people watch my stuff every week and somehow that's not good enough. Like, huh? To me, it's less that these smaller content creators aren't good enough, and it's way more that, like, the imbalance of, or imbalance, like the improper distribution of money per views or whatever is just like everything else in life, every other career, every other job, every other thing in life. Like, oh yeah, this top amount of streamers make this amount of money, or content creators that are this big get, you know, rake in this much dough. And it's like, okay, cool, but if we just had them make a little less, then maybe we could pay, like, smaller content creators who are still worth something. Like, maybe we could pay them something so they didn't feel like, you know, everything was pointless or whatever. The bigger you get, the more money you make, and the more money you make, you can, like, bring all these teams on there for you, like, you know, editors and thumbnail artists and whatever else it is. Like, and I don't know. This is starting to turn into me just complaining about the system, which is not what I'm trying to do. Just trying to capture how I feel in this moment. And how I feel is that I've been sitting here for 3 hours trying to get myself to say something about anything. And right now, this is where I'm at. Like, this is how I'm doing it. And I just, you know, I spent months and made this big video about not giving up. So like, I'm not trying to give up or anything like that. I just am so lost. I'm so alone and lost when it comes to this sort of stuff. I'm just filled with regret. Like, so much I wish I could change or go back and like do again, man. And it's a shame that I still feel that way, because that's like one of the main things I talk to my therapist about, is like, more so than your average individual. Like, damn, I get hard stuck on like mistakes I've made or choices that I wish I could undo or things I could wish differently. Like, I'll just be sitting there doing whatever else, watching TV, playing a video game, and I'll just be like, man, 5 years ago, I really should have been different, or I should have done different. And it's such an unhealthy way to live life. Like, I know it. I know it's not good. I just cannot control it, though. Like, it's not something that I consciously do. It just, like, I'll be sitting there, and then boom, like, oh, you should have done this in this scenario, bro. Like, you really messed up all those years ago. And it's like, cool, man. Like, I know. Can't exactly go back, can I? Feels like ass. Yeah, I don't know. I guess... I mean, right now my plan is to start making videos that are like, that require less work. I don't know, it's less of a time commitment, because like I can't afford to spend so much time working on stuff here and then have it not do well. So I would rather just spend less time on each project on here and spend more of my time on like my other channel, which I only have one video on because I've been spending all my time like streaming and then making videos for this channel. So, or struggling to try to do. So maybe I'll just do what I want to do and do my absolute best to try to ignore how my failures make me feel. You guys have any suggestions? I'd love to hear them. As long as they're not, oh, play different games on here, because obviously that's not working. I don't know. I mean, if that's genuinely your suggestion, I will listen. I just feel like that might not be the solution I'm looking for. But obviously what I'm doing is not working, so sorry if I'm having a hard time making eye contact with the camera. I just kind of hard to be like super real like this sometimes, so I've been fidgeting with the Mario Kart thing and looking everywhere but forward. And part of that is just because lately, like, I'm so quick to cry, and I don't like, there's no problem with that. For sure, express your emotions. Like I think that's a great thing personally, and it feels good to cry. But like, I'll just cry for so long, man. Like, I'll cry for like 2 hours or something like that, and I feel like very unproductive when I do it. And before someone tries to diagnose me with depression, I don't know if I'm depressed or not. Some people in my life feel like I am, and I, you know, that's a valid take. I'm not trying to like disregard those people's feelings, but to me, there's this aspect of like outside or inside forces when it comes to like depression or whatever. And it's like, are you depressed because like everything sucks and life is really tough? I mean, look at like the election cycle that we have to go through constantly and the disappointment that comes with that. Or is it like something inside of, like, if you know, it's the same thing when people are like, oh, money can't buy happiness. And it's like, okay, well, just because if you have money, that does not guarantee you to be happy. But money can fix a lot of people's problems and bring them happiness as a result. You know, like someone who's struggling to put like food on the table or whatever. If you have money and then you can put food on the table, things might, you know, turn around for you. Anyway, I didn't mean to start talking about that. Maybe another time, another video, I'll talk about that. Either way, just know that I'm not giving up yet, but I'm having a really hard time. So sorry if videos don't come out super consistently. Also, I would really appreciate it if you loved yourself. Hope you guys are doing all right with your own personal struggles. All right, one more thing. Last thing I want to say. I know it's like a really hotly debated argument or topic about like content creators complaining about, you know, their work when there are so many more jobs that are like hard or tougher, or people have it worse. First of all, people having it worse than you does not invalidate your own personal struggles. I understand that a lot of people have life a lot worse off than me. I get that. And that I feel for them. I think that's terrible. I would genuinely love if everyone on planet Earth who's like a solid person could do what they wanted to do without having to worry about, you know, X, Y, or Z. However, that being said, I'm still me, and my struggles with my situation are totally valid. And I'm never going to take that away from myself just because I get to play video games or whatever for a living. Like, obviously that's really reductive and the job isn't that simple. Second off, I don't really think people who say that know how hard the job can be. Yeah, it can be really easy. It can be much easier than like retail, to bring up a specific example, but there's tons of stuff about it that is ass on a stick. The amount of taxes self-employed people pay, or the amount of revenue Google takes from YouTubers, or just like self-image issues it can cause, or just the amount of time you have to put into it. You don't have a boss, but you don't have a boss. So like, you know, a boss isn't gonna let you just sit there and work for too much time, for example. Like, you have a shift, a start time and end time, but for content creators, like, that's not necessarily the case. Whatever, I don't want to get into that right now. I think the first part of what I said is good enough. Everyone has it different. Just because people have it worse doesn't take away from what you're going through. Anyway, I'm rooting for you if you're going through something, and I'll keep trying to figure this out, man. So yeah. Okay, bye.